Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Fantasy World Building. I thought I'd start this episode off with an actual proper time-lapse. Now, I know I said that I was just going to outline the near side of the bank of the river, but, rivers are three-dimensional, so just laying down an outline didn't seem to be the right way to go for me. I personally have actually not done a whole lot of terraforming, but it seemed to make more sense to me to just dive right in and start digging out the river. I have only done the near bank, remembering that the far bank is going to be the Nether biome or whatever it's going to be. Also, I several times ran out of dirt, so I had to go caving to get more of it. So that also makes it more difficult to do the opposite side of the river, at least for now. Also, you might notice that some of the blocks in this time-lapse seem to have been broken, and then in the next segment not be broken. The replay mod is having some conflict with some other mod. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Most of the time it works more or less, pretty much. But it seems like doing multiple recordings with the replay mod separate, like start and then stop and then start, is causing some problems. So if it looks weird, that's just that. Okay, so this is a bit of an awkward time skip thing. I was recording the episode and ran out of hard drive space, and the footage corrupted. Yay! I've deleted things and rearranged things, so that shouldn't happen again. Honestly, the thought hadn't even occurred to me that I was low on space, so I hadn't checked in quite a while. So that was my bad. But you have missed some stuff. We are currently in I suppose you'd call it a dungeon. There's two spawners, zombie, and I'm not actually sure what these things are called. I'm fairly sure they're AbyssalCraft, given what they drop. This here was a hole, same as that. And before I show you the loot, let me just... It's in this here cave. We're right... There's the river there. And the base is... the house is just there. Oh, you won't have seen the river, except in the time-lapse. I'll show you that in a second. I did die twice to a baby zombie thing, whatever they're called. And this here is the hall. These are the actual drops from what I killed. AbyssalCraft. Coral flesh, or core flesh, corallium plagued flesh. Yeah, that's what these guys are. And then they dropped this. There were 4 chests total. No, there were 5 chests total. And this is just the normal Minecraft stuff. I've kind of organized stuff in the mod it comes from, Quark, Botania, Growthcraft. As you can see, this is AbyssalCraft. And then this one is all the food. All the food. Unfortunately, a lot of this stuff doesn't stack. And some of it only stacks to 2. Great. But that's gonna last us a long time. We also got these. I had made this and glaive in fighting this. And like I said, I did die twice, but there it is. It's all conquered. I'm really sorry about that. I'm definitely going to be paying much closer attention to how much space there is in the future. But mistakes were made and we move on. This should have been part of the time lapse. You should have seen this. I hope. Talked about the bloomery. I did several batches of bronze. That's why I was able to make this and this, as well as some other things. This here is as far as I've gotten with the dirt. It goes quick when you're trying to do any largish area. As you can see, there's the river. It's just that bank. I'm not sure where this bank is going to be. Probably somewhere around here. I don't want the river to be too wide because it's still fairly close up in the mountains. And it'll go down along through there to join that. I'm thinking of making another tributary come down from over there somewhere to join the river. Maybe make that river bigger. I'm not sure where it goes, so we'll have to find out that later. One other thing, these. You may have noticed 2 tall versions of these, and I couldn't get anything off of them, these 2. But it turns out if you just break them and then replant them, they do that. And it's prickly pear and honey mesquite, which is nice. Oh, this stuff, there is a recipe for it surrounding a bucket to turn it into gypsum, like a solid block. My buckets don't actually work doing it, clay buckets, but if you just drop the actual item into the water, it converts it. So that's what you can see there. But yeah, the mesquite flowers make tea, the seeds make flour, and then the prickly pears, you can make a couple of different things out of them. They're used in any of the Pam's recipes that just accepts fruit, and it also has a couple of recipes that rockhounding actually adds. Mesquite pie, mesquite juice. Anyway, forgot to talk about the crops here. These are very slowly growing. Most of this growth is actually the result of bone meal. These I don't think are growing at all, and when I was using bone meal on them, it was just duping the bone meal as far as I could tell. So it's just Minecraft wheat. I don't know what the problem is. This is thistle, and it doesn't seem to be growing at all. It says summer and autumn. I guess the grows best in plains forest. I guess that's more of a rule than a suggestion, and these refuse to take bone meal. I don't remember what that was. But I just kind of tossed them down once I got the water in to just start growing things. I'm gonna remove those, and then this wall will continue along there. I'm not super happy with it yet. I mean, it's okay, I guess. Meh. But it's... I'm thinking I'm going to replace some of the cobble with smooth marble. Smooth stone, you know, here and there to give more texture variation. Additionally, I think what I want to do is actually make a sort of barrier between the river and the actual cropland up that way. So I'm thinking like there will be this wall and then a gap and then another wall here and then, oops, farmland. And let's move this over here. Farmland up there, and then it'll step up again, or step up more, and then probably road right at the base of that, like right along here. Road will probably just kind of peter off over here, and then continue up over that way. Probably going to take some, or most of this back to here, have a gentle slope over to here, and then more steep over that way. Maybe a retaining wall, and then road, I think would be good. Because this area right here would be part of the floodplain of the river. And that's not a place where you want houses or anything permanent. Especially, you want to be like growing stuff there. Alternatively, what we might do is just flatten all of this out to this level, all the way back to like back here somewhere. Have that all be flat up to the river, and then have a retaining wall, and then road and like houses up here. Keeping in mind that all of the houses are going to be dug into the actual rock because dragons. But it makes sense if the river kind of goes along over there, from up there, all this space could be essentially pulled back, and then like a bit of a retaining wall, and then houses going up the mountain. Oh, real quick, one thing I did here is used a banner for a sort of room divider. I think that works really well, and we have plenty of access to wool, or string for wool, so might place one this way and then place one this way, so there's two of them in between doors. I did have a thought. That dungeon thingy was full of mossy stone and bricks and things. Roots requires moss, and I think what you do... Aha! Cool. Yeah, let's just grab a bit of this. Marble mossy cobble. Yeah. Could use that alongside the river. For sure. Oh, we've got over a stack. Okay. Well, it occurs to me, I've been talking about doing this or that with the terrain here. I'm gonna kinda move the bloomery over here into an area where I'm not going to be changing things much for a while. Part of me doesn't want to move that orange tree, but I mean, that's gonna have to go. Yeah, let me make some shovels, get some dirt, and see what we can do. Maybe we can get a little bit of work done. Somebody remind me, this is where the Terra Moss is. Hang on a second. Anybody notice anything? It's June 1st. And look. Snow. It's all melting. Interesting. This is gonna have to go. This is gonna have to go. We got one orange sapling. Oof. Okay, how are we looking? I don't want to entirely cover this cave opening up because that's that cave we've been using. Okay, let's take a look. Obviously, I'm gonna replace that with dirt. This line is way too straight, but it's starting to look like the sort of thing. How do we think about something like this? Let's say there, and then a little like wall type thing here. Is there enough room there for another house? Maybe not a house, maybe like got a ton of Astral Sorcery marble, but none of the underground biomes. Except 3. That's not gonna cut it. How does that look? The difference between the marbles is really striking right there. Like, you can definitely tell. So, even if I don't tear all of this out, I'm definitely not going to want it showing, I think. I mean, unless... Do you reckon it could work as like another texture? I feel like that doesn't quite work. Well, I feel like we're getting somewhere with this. If anyone has any suggestions on how to make this work, let me know. I think the main thing here is, because I'm basing this off of the city of Matera, the big thing with that city is like tiers going up the mountain of houses, you know? I think that's really what's missing here is this tiered sort of area. These trees are gonna have to move. And I do think that there's gonna need to be a house, like here and then there, maybe. Or maybe not actual houses. There's an idea. Down by the actual crops, maybe it should be like granaries, storehouses, sheds, smaller things, and then the houses up there, or start up there and then continue up that way. That could work. That could work. It's gonna take a bit of, well, work to get this all back to that point, and I'm going to need to excavate some more houses to get some more cobblestone. But that's gonna have to wait until next episode. I'm gonna see what else I can do with this area between episodes. And I'm very sorry about the not getting to see the dungeon assault. It was really, that was a shame. Bad YouTuber. I definitely need to do better. But until next episode, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed whatever it is we've gotten done here. I did say a river was going to happen, and, well, yeah. I mean, at the very least, you can start to see where this area is headed, but it's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to have to wait until, well, episodes to come. So, I hope to see you again And until then, take care. Farewell. And if you have any suggestions about what to do, please let me know. I'm just kind of flying blind here at the moment. And not just what to do with this area, but like the videos in general. If anyone has actually made it to the end of the episode here, like, let me know. What can I improve? What should I do differently? You know, suggestions. But anyway, farewell.